Van Ranch, we were told that the report was not submitted. Could you say if that is true, and if so, if any explanation was offered by the Chief Elections Officer?
All right, first of all, good morning. I'm reporting that there was no quorum at today's meeting. The 3 government-nominated commissioners did not turn up to the meeting, and as a consequence, there was no quorum. Notwithstanding, during the process of the presence of myself, my fellow commissioners, and the chairman of the commission, a report was received from the Chief Elections Officer. It was sent to the chairman, of which we've received copies, and that report does not contain the correct numbers as was generated by the recount exercise, and those numbers I have not checked them correctly in detail, but I can tell you definitively they do not reflect the numbers that were generated by the recount exercise. In addition to that, I view this as a very clear and flagrant violation of the specific instructions as were contained in two letters under the hand of the chairman to the CEO. Now, I can choose to use all the nice words like contemptuous and all of that of the instructions and violation of the instructions. But you know what the word that is on my mind this morning when I saw that? It is the CEO. I pass this commission. That is the position. And you know, it is not surprising. I'm not surprised by these developments. You know why? Because leading up to the non-arrival of my colleague commissioners, I had already seen on social media indications of this. So it tells me that persons out there know what is happening. It tells me that they have an indication of what the forward insidious steps that the riggers are attempting to do. That is the position. I will, during the course of this morning, I will make available the copy of the report that was made available to me to the public.
But could you say if it reflects any of the 2 previous reports submitted?
I just said that I have not checked it to say where those numbers have come from. I can tell you that the numbers do not reflect the figures generated from the recount exercise.
Did it show a win for the PPP?
Pardon me?
Did it show a win for the PPP?
No, it is not. Every report that Lowenfield brings, it shows a win for a list of candidates that has not won these elections. Everybody knows what the results of these elections is.
What was the chairman's response then?
The chairman has presented it to us. She has not created or provided a response to it.
Mr. Gunraj, now with the presence of the report before the commission, what happens now if there continues to be no quorum and that report remains there?
The law does not provide a problem without a solution. It does not provide a conundrum without a remedy. And clearly, articles of the Constitution provide solutions in the absence of a quorum. And I can say without fear of contradiction that those articles will be enactuated and a solution will arise from this.
Right, well, I mean, it appears as though you're suggesting that given what the Constitution provides for...
If there is no quorum, Dennis, it says within 24 hours a meeting can be convened. A meeting, I understand, will be convened by the chairman at some time later than now, and in keeping with that article of the Constitution, the commission can be hamstrung by the acts of 1 or 2 people who are hell-bent on holding this country hostage.
Yes, but whenever the meeting is held, it will have for this very report. What are the options to have the changes made?
Those options will be considered and the necessary steps taken. The commission is already in possession of numbers officially from the recount exercise, and that's as far as I'll say. Thank you very much.
Can they work on those numbers in the absence of the Chief Elections Officer?
Like I said, those options will be considered and dealt with accordingly. Thank you.
Another update on the developments here. As you know, the Chief Elections Officer was scheduled to submit his elections report to the Chairman of the Guyana Elections Commission, former Judge Claudette Singh, at 11 a.m. this morning. We have received report that Lowenfield did submit a report to the chairman and the commission, but that report did not reflect the recount figures from the national vote recount, which shows a win for the People's Progressive Party. Instead, the report submitted by Lowenfield shows a victory for the incumbent APNU-AFC coalition. We were speaking with Commissioner of the Guyana Elections Commission, Says Gunraj, who was present here along with the two other commissioners nominated by the opposition People's Progressive Party, Robeson Ben and Bibi Shadiq. Now, Says described the actions of the CEO as an impasse to the Guyana Elections Commission. As we have been telling you this morning, this is the third time that the Chief Elections Officer, Mr. Lowenfield, has been asked to submit his report reflecting the recount figures, and he has done otherwise. Mr. Gunrad said the commission itself, and by extension the People's Progressive Party, will now be considering its options in moving forward. We've already had several persons in the legal fraternity and across the political divide calling for Lowenfield to face consequences for his actions. Some persons have said that he should be fired for failing to obey the instructions of the chairman of the Guyana Elections Commission. We've had those statements coming from the small parties, Change Guyana. We've also had those comments coming from the New Movement, and we've had those comments coming from the Liberty and Justice Party. We will continue to bring you updates from outside of the Guyana Elections Commission as it relates to the report that Lowenfield was supposed to submit to the commission today.